Good afternoon and welcome. My name is Lisa Kachiri and I am the board chair at Youth Pride. I'm happy to be here this afternoon. Thank you for all of the community, the coalition, and of course Wendy Becker, the co-founder of Youth Pride, for all they did with this bill. And also thank you to Senator Donna Nesselbush and Representative Edie Aiello for their sponsorship of this bill. This bill is directly protecting not only the youth that come to our center, but youth all across the state. We should be proud that we are among the first state in our country to ban this harmful practice of conversion therapy. And as such, have affirmed one step closer to Rhode Island community as an ally to our LGBTQ young people. In a time of great uncertainty and backlash on LGBTQ rights with our current administration, it's essential that the state take the initiative to protect all our citizens. Rhode Island did just that with the passage of this bill for LGBTQ youth. We thank the governor for her support in taking a stand for our youth. All of us at Youth Pride look forward to continuing to work with the governor's office to make sure there's a space for our LGBTQ youth to learn, grow, find community, and affirm their identities, and work to foster the leaders of tomorrow. And now it is my honor to introduce the governor, Gina Raimondo.
Thank you so much. This is terrific. I've really been looking forward to signing this bill. I'm a huge supporter of it and proud of my colleagues in the General Assembly for pushing it forward. I also want to recognize Wendy, who is here with us. I want to recognize all of my colleagues in government, Treasurer Magaziner, Rep. Donovan, Rep. Agello, Senator Nesselbush, Senator Miller, Rep. McAtee. I want to recognize Reverend Anderson, who I saw back there. It takes a lot of effort to make this happen. And the community has come together to stand up to do the right thing. And it's my honor to sign this bill in a few minutes. I had the opportunity to spend some time a month or so ago with Lisa at Youth Pride, and it was awesome. I loved spending time with the young people who were there and just listening to them, listening to their concerns, listening to their issues, listening to what they want from Rhode Island and what we need to do in order to deliver a fair and equal and tolerant Rhode Island, and a Rhode Island that meets the needs of all of its citizens and does so equally. And so I loved being there, and I encourage you to keep doing what you're doing at Youth Pride. Since last year's election, I have spoken out more and more forcefully in favor of equality and tolerance. And just yesterday, I was at a Holocaust memorial event, and today I'm proud to be here. We saw what just happened in Virginia. We see what's happening all around us. Lisa just mentioned that LGBT rights are coming under attack. It's on us to speak out and speak up and pass bills like this to make sure that sort of discrimination isn't allowed or tolerated in the state of Rhode Island. There's no place for bigotry, there's no place for senseless hate, and there's no place for discrimination on any basis. And so we were founded on the principles of tolerance, and now more than ever, I think we need to come together and express that every person has equal dignity, period, and we're going to protect that. I will say, this bill makes a strong statement that it's okay to be you. It's okay to be you. That's what you should be, whoever you may be. It's okay to love who you want, It's okay to marry who you love, and you should never be ashamed of who you are. And we, the people of Rhode Island, stand behind you and will guarantee your equal rights under the law, regardless of who you are. And don't ever let anybody try to convince you that you ought to be somebody else. When we signed the bill, it makes Rhode Island the 10th state in the country to do so, which I think is terrific. Being in the top 10 for something good makes us a national leader, and I'm proud to do that. And so for each and every one of you who had a part to play in the advocacy today and through the years, with a lot of you guys who I'm looking at have been at this for a long time, stay at it, because it makes Rhode Island better and stronger because of you. With that, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the co-sponsor of the bill in the House, Representative Edie Agella.
I noticed that my colleague, Susan Donovan, is in the room too. Susan Donovan was one of the first signers of the bill, serves on House Health, Education, and Welfare, and was a strong advocate in committee and one of those that listened for hours the night of that hearing. 80 some of you showed up to testify. One person testified against, and as I recall, he spoke of finding the self he wanted to be through his relationship with his church. This bill has nothing to do with that. So he really had no reason to be there testifying, which means everybody in the room was there in favor of it. It kind of, I have to shake my head that anybody thought this was at all controversial. But I've been in the General Assembly 25 years, and back in 1992, when I was thinking about running, one of the people I talked with was Wendy Becker. And in that conversation, she said, "It's not such a good time for me to run, but I'll help you if you run." And then she went on to ask me to do something as a legislator. Wendy asked me to work on repealing Rhode Island's sodomy law, because she and Mary wanted to adopt children. And at that time in the news, people have read that in Virginia, lesbian couples were being denied the opportunity to marry because they were considered sodomites. They were breaking the Virginia law. It took a couple of years. I think it was 1998 when we finally repealed the sodomy law. But when Wendy Becker came to me again and asked me to work on conversion therapy ban, I had to say yes. Wendy was just amazing in her running the campaign for passage of this bill, from organizing people to testify, from organizing contacts with legislators. She did it all, and it really ought to be the Wendy Becker law. I want you all to be And the good news is Wendy and Mary are raising their own children there and raising them to be active in the community. They were here at the State House on the evening of the vigil after the horrible story coming out of Charlottesville. Thank you, Wendy, for all your wonderful work. Thank all of you who worked on this legislation. We can keep doing it. There is more work to do in Rhode Island, more work to do around the country. It's wonderful that Jansen Wu and his new staff person are here today from GLAAD in Massachusetts. And you know what? We beat Massachusetts on this. Thank you. We're better place to live. And with that, I'd like to introduce Donna Nesselbush, the Senate Counsel.
I just want to see what it feels like to stand up on this. Not bad. So good afternoon, and damn, women, you are good. That was great, Governor, and great Representative Jello and Lisa Carcieri. I am really so thrilled to be here today. I have introduced this bill for several years and could not be happier that this is finally the year that it has made it to the Governor's desk and we're here for a bill signing. I also want to thank all my colleagues in government who have been mentioned, who are here, my good friend Wendy, Lisa Carcieri, Jansen Wu, obviously Chair Miller, who was instrumental in the bill's passage out of the Senate committee, and all of you who are here. Very simply, this bill will ensure that our children are not subjected to the dangerous and discredited practice known as conversion therapy. And I've heard today we're one of the first, we're the 10th, I thought we were the 7th, but whatever it is where we are in the nation, it is just such an honor to be in the forefront of the nation on this issue. You know, as came out so clearly in the very poignant and powerful committee hearings, conversion therapy has been discredited by all the major professional associations that deal with the health and welfare of children. We know not only that it doesn't work, but that it has the potential to cause a great deal of harm to an already vulnerable population. Conversion therapy is based on the premise that there is something terribly wrong with being gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender, and that we somehow need to be fixed. I'm so proud that the Rhode Island legislature and now our governor are rejecting this premise. Instead, we are sending a message to young people and to their parents that their sexual orientation or gender identity is just fine as it is, and that all of us are healthiest when we are living authentic and honest lives. And we're sending a message to licensed practitioners that the mental health treatment of young people should be based on evidence and research and not on ideology or fear. Rhode Island prides itself as being a welcoming and diverse state. This legislation is another step in creating a safe and welcoming climate for all in Rhode Island. And I really want to thank my great friend, Wendy Becker, who I have been working with literally since college. Wendy was one of my best friends in college. And I will embarrass her by saying that we have been rabble-rousing together for, I think it's almost 30 years. I literally remember a day, and I don't know what year it was, in the 1980s, where she showed up to my kitchen table in Pawtucket and had me sign the incorporation papers for YPI, Youth Pride Incorporated. And she is not only the founder of that organization, but has, been an instrumental role not only in the organization, but all of the young people who are here today, all of the young people that she has worked with and affected, and really, she coordinated an amazing campaign on this conversion therapy ban. The hearings were just so moving and thought-provoking, and I know she will hate me for this, but we all have to give Wendy a big round of applause. And really, I remember the day that all of the advocates came to the State House bearing this great sign that is telling us that conversion therapy should go by the wayside of bad things like lobotomies and forced sterilizations. And now we can actually say that it has gone by the wayside. So. I want to thank the co-sponsors of the bill on the Senate side, and that, of course, is Senator Josh Miller, the chair of our committee, my friend Frank Chacon, Billy Conley, and also Frank Lombardo. I also want to thank all of the members of the Health and Human Services Committee who voted the bill out of committee, and for all of the senators who voted for the bill on the Senate floor. It's really been a pleasure to work with Representative Agello on this issue and other issues. And so thank you so much for your stewardship on the House side. It was great that it got passed over there, and despite some hijinks at the end, we were able to get the bill through in what was a little bit of a harrowing last day of session. So finally, I want to thank my friend, Governor Gina Raimondo, who has made it a priority of her administration to enact policies that respect the LGBT community and the dignity of each and every Rhode Islander. Governor, inclusiveness really has been one of the hallmarks of your administration. So thank you for that. Thank you all for being here today. It's really a great day for Rhode Island.
First, I'm going to sign this. Ready?
What do you think? Should she go big?
Go big or stay home? Big statement. All right, here we go.
Do it. All across it.
With pride.
There you go. Any more kids?
All right, guys, come in. Come on up here, Val.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, boy.
Yes.
No shyness today.
Wait, what's your name?
How are you?
Guys ready?
That's hilarious.
This to How about the last one to Wendy?
Yes.
Yes.